Let me know.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. Yay! What's up, friends? Hello. Baby grandma's in the house. What's up, guys? Hello, hello. It's just started as a health coach. Awesome. Okay, guys. So Natalie is on. What's up, Haley? Two queens. Hello. I am so excited, guys, because you guys tell me all the time you want help with launching what it is you do. Maybe this is a course, this is a service, your coaching business, whatever this may be. And Natalie is the launch ninja. Like, I don't think anybody launches as well as Boss Babe and Natalie. Like, you have it down to a science, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing it for so long. Just plugging you in. We've been doing it for so long. I feel like we've really got it mastered now, which is amazing, because in the beginning things were not that simple and it was so stressful. And I was constantly each launch making a little bit easier, a little bit easier. And so we're in a launch right now and I feel amazing. And it just feels so good to be like ahead of myself. So I remember in the past when I'd finish a launch, I'd be like, I am never launching again. Like, I am done with that, which you could probably relate to.
Yeah. It's funny. You're like in a launch for launch, which is like,
I know, it's so meta. I'm in a launch teaching people how to launch.
So, cool. It's like Inception. It's like, I'm going to show you what I'm doing so you can see this is how we do it, right?
I know. I mean, the good thing is it's going well. Can you imagine if I was launching?
The irony. You'd be like,
that would have been quite a thing.
The only people who buy it are me and your mom. We're like, yeah, Natalie.
Natalie's doing a good job.
Honestly, for all of you newbies watching, that was me. I mean, your first few launches before you had an audience and a brand. I mean, guys, you're not supposed to have this 7-figure launch right when you start, especially if you just started a month ago. So what's great about what Natalie's going to be chatting about is that this is for newbies too, right? So that's what's awesome about this, is that women who have no idea where to start, you can provide them this strategy to have a successful launch.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're trying to do is we've got both beginner and advanced in there, because I don't do coaching outside of programs, outside of the society. I don't do coaching. And so there was a lot of women coming to me saying, okay, well, I'm past the 6-7 figure mark. How do I scale and optimize? And then also women coming to me saying, hey, I've never even done a launch before. I don't know what it is. And I wanted to make something, it's the same with my other course, IJ. I want to make something that doesn't expire, that doesn't date. And so what I did was I break it down for absolute beginners. So even what a launch is, like what a funnel is, all the beginning stuff. And then halfway through a lot of the videos, I'm like, okay, if you're a beginner and you're not at 6 figures, end the video now, go do what I said. If you are 6-7 figures, stay on and we're going to talk advanced. And so trying to bring both of those things in, which is a lot of work in a course, but I think it's worth it. When you don't put out a lot of courses, you're the same. You don't put out a lot of stuff. So when you do it, you want to do it properly.
Yes, exactly. So for people who are on, tell them who you are and what you do. If you had to tell them in an elevator really quick, like, how would you explain what you do? Because you do a bunch of really cool stuff, but how would you explain to them what you do?
So I help female entrepreneurs start and scale their businesses through online courses, resources, and community.
I love it.
That was a quick.
That was really good, actually. If I was in an elevator, I'd be like, okay, wow, you got that pitch down. I love it. Hey, guys, in the comments, tell us what your business is, because one of the things I want to dive into today, and if you guys are not already signed up, holy crap, I think we have like 4,000 people coming Sunday. So I'm like so excited. Like, I love huge parties and I just like love sharing cool, great things with people. So I'm like so excited. So if you guys are not signed up for that yet, that link is in my bio. And then down below is the link to what we're chatting about today, you guys. So tell us what you do. I assume a lot of your health coaches, wellness coaches, fitness coaches, and you're exhausted and you're burnt out because you've tried to launch your program and you heard crickets, or you don't know what to name the program, or you don't even know how to put together a program. I know in the beginning I made a lot of mistakes, so I want to hear what you think are the top no-nos. If you had to tell someone, like, these are the big mistakes that I see. Like, for me, I know I didn't do market research. Like, I just came up with an idea and pulled it out of my butt. And I was like, oh, maybe people will buy this, versus working backwards and actually doing market research. So what other mistakes have you seen that you're like, these are the things you just don't want to do if you're launching online?
Yeah, that's definitely a big one that you mentioned. Another thing that I see people doing is they just go into a launch. They haven't curated a launch audience. They haven't really planned anything advanced. They're like, okay, I'm going into launch next Tuesday and I'm going to go sell X amount of my product. And especially when you're in the beginning phases, you know, when you've been in business for quite a while and you've got a community, that might work. You might be able to send out a couple of emails and you start to get momentum. But to be honest, even with, you know, an audience of over 2.6 million, I still can't just go, I'm going to go launch on Tuesday. There's a lot more that goes into it, and especially in the early stages. And so I really think your launch starts 2 months before your launch starts. And that's really building an audience of people who you can actually launch to. Because the biggest thing I see is people launch and they've got all of their Instagram captions, all of their images, all of their stuff. They know what they're talking about. And then they go into it and they wonder why people aren't buying. And it's because you haven't really given your audience, well, you haven't given yourself enough time to build an audience, firstly. And I'm not talking about like Instagram followers. I'm really talking about building an audience who've said to you, I'm interested. So if you're launching a launch course like me, I put out a pre-launch checklist 2 months ago. I put out a launch quiz. I put out multiple different things. And I started to build a list of people who were saying to me, I'm interested in launching. This is the kind of thing that I'm doing. So that's the first part of it. And then secondly, why should they buy from you? Like, how have you demonstrated you're an expert in that space? Because when you're launching, you might be launching something that's a little bit different to anything you've done in the past. So for me, this launch course is completely different to the Instagram course I've got, or the membership course. And yes, I'm known for business stuff, but I don't just take it for granted that people think I'm good at launches. And so for the past 2 months, I just brought people behind the scenes of the launch. And that was really my pre-launch content strategy was, okay, show that you're an expert, be able to demonstrate that. So I think those two things are really, really key. And then again, what you said about not doing market research, you can have all the best things in the world, but if you don't even know you've got product market fit, then you're probably not going to have a success when you launch. So how are you getting product market fit before you launch? The way that I get it, again, assumptions in business will often really kill your business. I can make assumptions up to a certain point, and then before I launch, I go and contact people who I know will be a perfect fit. I ask them, would they buy it? And if they say yes, I'm like, cool, credit card, let's do the payment thing. Because so often people will say, yeah, I'm really interested. And you say, cool, pass your credit card. And they're like, oh, I still need to think about that one. Yeah. And so you haven't got product market fit. If people aren't willing to pay for it, just because they said they would, doesn't mean they would. And so it's like, is your messaging dialed in? Is your product demonstrating that there's enough of a transformation? Is it priced correctly? Because you can't just pull pricing out of your butthole. Like, pricing is also, there's formulas behind it. You know, I've had clients come to me in the past who are like, Natalie, I've not sold any of my product, and I look at their pricing and I'm like, well, what told you wanted to do it at this price? It doesn't seem like it fits to me. Well, I just felt like that was the right price. And yeah, I love gut instinct in business, but it only gets you so far. So that's also a big thing that I see.
Yeah, I love that. Assumptions. Like, we all make assumptions versus doing the market research and actually seeing, is this something relevant? Is this something in demand? Is the market actually screaming for this? I always have my girls do this. Like, is this niche actually something people want? So for you guys, even like with launch schools, realized, okay, this is a pain point that probably comes up that you've seen in comments and Facebook groups, listeners of the podcast, DMs that were saying, hey, I need help launching. Then you as a creator and marketer said, oh, I'll create that. So many people don't work backwards like that's how I've created everything. I hear enough noise and I'm like, oh, I'll listen to you and I'll create that. The best marketers are listening. They're not just speaking, right? And so you ladies watching, realize that if your people are telling you what they need help with, that's what you create. You don't just say like, oh, I'm going to create a lifestyle course for women, when like, what does that mean? It's so broad. And that's something I see too, is the titles and the subject is like helping women to be their best self. Like, whoa.
What is that?
Gotta clean that up, right?
And I made such a big mistake too, because when I was creating the launch course, I assumed, because a lot of people were asking me these questions, that they knew what a launch was. I think that's like a reasonable assumption. Yet I started launching and I started my pre-launch stuff, and I started getting a lot of DMs saying, well, what does launching mean? What do you mean by that? So what they were asking me, how do I get my product service out there? How do I make more sales? How do I do what you're doing? I took that as, how do I launch? Because I kind of put words in their mouth. And then what I realized was actually they didn't even know a lot of them didn't know what a launch was. And so a lot of my pre-launch content was educating them on what a launch was, because sometimes your pre-launch is, asking the question, okay, what do my ideal clients need to believe and understand before my product is a fit for them? And for me, it was they need to believe and understand that launches are something that you can get a big cash injection out of. You don't have to have a business that's running evergreen. Whereas I just assumed people knew that. And again, assumptions don't always get you so far.
Yeah, you guys, and the word ass is an assumption, so.
Yeah.
Ass, guys. But you know what's interesting? After coaching a lot of lifestyle coaches or health coaches and fitness coaches, I've realized that they have the difficulty is they're afraid to use the words of their customer. So again, this, of course, even I've seen changing the title can help with the conversion of a launch too, from a fluffy, oh, I just want to help women feel good, lifestyle boot camp. What is that? No one's signing up for that, right? You could literally be Oprah and still might be like, what even is this you're selling? Well, it's Oprah, so maybe not. She could put whatever she wants.
Maybe not. Maybe Oprah's got it covered.
Even like really big influencers, even you, right? If you called this like the mastering your online presence, like it would be too fluffy, right? Like, what is it? It is a launch course. Cool. Say what it is. And I think women are selling the byproduct, the benefit, like, and they're not taking a link to their customers. So an example, ladies, is instead of this lifestyle program for women, is it a fat loss course? Is it 8 weeks to getting shredded? Like, what is this? What are you actually selling? I think is, gosh, that's step one, right? Like, what the heck are you actually selling and what's the desired end result?
Yeah, I had so many terrible names for this program before it was online launch school. I was going to call it all kinds. There was like 6-figure launch. There was all kinds of stuff. And my team were like, you don't know everyone wants a 6-figure launch. Like, that's ridiculous. And so, like, we'd never get it right first time round until I'm getting that feedback. Yeah. And then eventually we came up with this, because you're right. Like, if I called it something else, it could have been it might not have worked at all.
Yeah, titles are everything. Yeah, I've seen women with great product and I help them with the title and it actually changed their conversion. So it just shows, like, if people don't have clarity, if the customer doesn't have clarity on what it is, they're not buying it no matter who you are. You could have a massive audience, but tomorrow I launch something called like mindset mastery, or like, I don't know, if it was just kind of fluffy, I think people would be like, well, to what? What is the outcome of this? So guys, step one, have clarity around what it is you're doing, build the audience first around that thing. I call this seeding and teasing, where it's like 2 months out, 3 months out, you're bringing up the thing before you even launch it. So which ways do you, like, how would you explain to these women how to seed and tease the offer?
Yeah, so that's totally right. And there's 2 ways you can seed. You can tell them that something's coming, or you can not, and you can just get them excited without even knowing that you've got something coming. So this is the first launch where I actually told everyone what was coming, and I've tested different things because I wanted to be able to put this in the course. And so, like, with IGA, when I launched that course last year, I didn't tell them anything was coming, but I was building my authority and expertise as an Instagram growth expert. So my content for 2 to 3 months was purely Instagram growth. I was sharing it like crazy, and then I was saying something's coming, but I never linked the two together. So I'm sure people assumed but didn't really know. This time around, I said there's going to be a course on launching, and then I started to really build my authority, like bringing people behind the scenes of launches, sharing different pieces of value with them that they'd never heard before around launches, explaining all the different terminology that they might need, all of those different things. And then about 3 weeks before, we announced the name, the logo, all the fun stuff, and told them what was coming. Then we told them the date, the time, and just got people really excited. And that worked super well. So there's 2 ways of doing it, but really it's all about how can you demonstrate that you understand this space that you're getting into, and how can you make people know, like, and trust you in that time.
Yeah. Guys, give heck yes if you are feeling this in the comments. If you were like, oh God, realize the title sucks, you need to pick up your title. You need to start seeing it and teasing it. Say yes in the comments. Say, tell me more tips. Go ahead, you guys, ask questions on launching right here. P.S. Our mutual friend Anna, obviously. Guys, we have a mutual friend who made the site. Looking at it right now, it's so pretty. Now, do you like
that? Is amazing. She's so good.
I know. I was like, I just was staring at it. I'm like, I just want to stare at it.
She's so good.
I know. She showed it like way before it was even. She's like, peek. I was like, oh, I want a picture that looks like this. It's so good.
So it's so bright. And what's really interesting is obviously Boss Babe attracts a lot of women. That's what we're here for. But we want to be able to open it up to men as well. And so we said to Anna this time around, okay, we want to see a bit more masculinity in the branding. We don't want it like super pink and girly. And it's really worked, that one thing, just changing the branding. We've had a lot of guys enrolling, which is really, really interesting. Yeah. So again, it just shows you that research piece and the thought that you put into the title, the colors. Like, I know if I called it something else, it might have turned off guys. So all of those things. And I don't have a lot of guys in my audience too, so it's really interesting what all of this stuff does.
Yeah, I love this. I'm looking at it now. Guys, if you launch with Angie.com, you can the link for online launch school. It's beautiful. It's so well laid out, and it's teaching. It's honestly breaking everything down what this is for, which is amazing. These, especially newbies. I feel like these newbie women who they've never had a successful launch, or maybe they've sold 1 or 2 people, and they're just so curious on how do I even do this, right? Instead of just throwing poop at the wall, there's actually structure, and there's actually this confidence, right? So confidence when you, and I mean, we know as marketers, it can be super exhausting. Kind of why we either don't do that. Like, okay, do I have energy or do I not?
Yeah.
So I love that you're mentioning that. Like, that's worth for customer for sure. I've had where I'm like, it was just so much. It was like 80-hour work week. Like, I'm done. It's not worth it. You know, so that you did it in a way that was not too exhausting for you, and that you're teaching women how to do it as smart as possible, I think is awesome.
Yeah, and for me now, the most tiring part of my launch is actually creating the thing I'm launching. So if it's a course or whatever, it's creating all of the curriculum. There's no way that I can say to anyone, that's not going to be tiring or difficult. Like, no matter how much time, creating an online course when you give so much detail, that's going to be tiring. So that's always the biggest piece, is getting that part done. And then I create all my content ahead of time. So like now, like I'm not working 8-hour days. Like, I don't work a ton during launches, because you're exactly the same. I know my energy is everything, and I want to be able to show up to lives, to Instagrams, to webinars, absolute high energy. I want to be in the Facebook group welcoming all of our new clients and stalking their businesses and supporting them. And so I don't want to be drained and exhausted. So the hardest part really is creating the thing. Once that's done, I can chill. I know when I hit launch and it's go time, I can step back and like, my work is done now. And it makes a massive difference.
Yeah, I mean, we're biohacking babes. We need to focus on our lattes, okay?
Right here. I've got it right here.
I love it. Every day I'm like, yes, Natalie and I are doing the same weird shit.
Literally the same weird shit every day.
Guys, our job is so energy intensive. I'm like preparing for all like thousands of you on Sunday. So I'm like, okay, I need a massage. I need to meditate. I need like hyperbaric chamber. I need some Organifi hot cacao. I need all of the things, right?
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah.
Because if you show up with high energy and you lead by example, people are going to have a better time. People are going to trust you more. People are going to want to work with you. Yes. It's very much like work with people who are at where you're at. If you're not going to work with someone who is constantly stressed during the launch and say, I want to learn launches from them. They look exhausted. I'm not about that. It's not for me. I'm not that kind of hustly person. I feel like you're the same. Like, I really like having that balance.
Yeah, 100%. It's just not worth it, right? It's not worth making a ton of money, but not feeling good. Like, I'd rather make 10, 20% less, but feel amazing.
Yeah, and I've been on both sides of it. I've been where I've like been exhausted and just thought, this isn't worth it to me. I'm not like, you see a lot of people who are like, oh, you've got to put in the time now and work hard now, and you'll reap the rewards later. And for what? To have all of these health issues later on? Like, I just don't believe in that. I want to have it all now. I don't want to be sacrificing.
Yeah, well, you're posting about PCOS, which I think I might have, and I'm figuring out my crazy periods. But, you know, honestly, that's very stressful, you know, like adrenal fatigue. And so it's like, you're like, shit, I'm an entrepreneur. How am I going to manage my stress, you know? Yeah,
you've got it. It's so incredibly important. I think entrepreneurship can be one of the most stressful things you can do. Like, it really is like a full personal development journey, and the quicker you get on top of that, the better it's going to be.
Yeah. Oh, I love this. Okay, guys, say heck yes if first you're coming on this Sunday. I'll be teaching IG story hacks, you guys, your content pillars, and then Natalie's going to come on, teach some launch tips there. So say heck yes if you're coming Sunday. We're so excited to see you. What would be two more quick little, I guess, the hot mistakes that you see? I love hearing mistakes in industries, like things that you see that you're like, oh, just don't do that when you launch, or don't do it that way when you launch, or maybe something you did that you're like, if I could go back in time, this is what I would have not done or done differently.
So a big mistake also I see is just people neglecting their email list and prioritizing social. I think social is great, but what if, you know, the algorithm goes down or something? Like, it's, you really want to have both. You don't want to. Oh, did it come back? And so really thinking about how you can take your followers and put them on your email list so that you're being able to share that long form value content with them in an email and then show up on stories to add that personality and that trust factor. I think both are really, really important. And I see a lot of people neglecting that. So that's a big mistake. And what's another one? I think honestly, one of the biggest mistakes, and you kind of touched on the beginning with research, is they don't know the transformation of what they're selling. They just cannot put it into words. And they're saying, you know, buy this course, it's going to help you do X. So I work with people to help them do X. But really, what's that transformation like? What is it that's going to make them say, yeah, I'm all in with that. I get what it's going to help me do. You need to be specific and exact. And a lot of times when people do all the right things and they're like, it's still not working, I go take a look at their sales pages and I'm like, I don't understand what I'm signing up for. It's not making sense to me. So that's a really big thing. So, and I know you teach a lot about that as well. It's just getting extremely clear on what you do.
Yeah. It's clarity. It's clarity over the cleverness. I think women actually are trying too hard in their copy. Sound like a poet. And I'm like, dude, your customer doesn't know what the F you're saying. I'm like, dude, she doesn't know. Like, she has no idea what you're selling, because you're just like, the higher consciousness course for up-leveled women who want to find their inner being and then become a unicorn and make sales. And I'm just like, what the fuck is
that? Is the best thing I've ever heard. Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. And women are like, Angie, why is this course not selling? And I'm like, dude, because I don't know what it is. And I'm a pretty intelligent person. I don't know what the frick you're selling. And then we get down to it. I call this the onion exercise. We get to the core, and she's selling a fat loss course for moms. And I'm like, why didn't you just say that? She's like, well, it needed to sound better because I don't want people to think it's boring or it's simple. I'm like, dude, simplicity is what makes money. Like,
I want to be different. No, you don't want to be different. You want to be able to get out there and be specific and be exact. I think what makes you different is your personality. It's you, it's your brand, it's your experience. Like, both of our experiences are so different. And so people are going to gravitate towards different people based on that. And exactly that, like trying to be a poet in your captions is not going to work.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yes. I love this. Don't forget the turtle. Yeah. Oh, in bios. I help with the bios, and it's always like, I love sea turtles. Like, no one cares that you love sea turtles in your bio, guys, okay? No, I called the dating profile. I'm like, guys, are you using your Instagram for business or to date? Because it's sounding.com. Take out all of that fluff.
Just fluffy. It's like, and I think that's one of the biggest things. I see it all the time. And I'm just like, no one knows what you're selling. And so you can have the best strategy. You can be building your list. You can be doing everything.
Yeah.
But no one knows. And another mistake also is just a lot of people are scared to sell, which I know on Sunday you're going to teach a lot of. But I see a lot of people saying, I'm not making sales. And I go check their social media and I'm like, I don't see what you're selling. I'm not seeing it. And they're like, well, I don't want to sell too often. And they don't realize how many times people need to see your message before they're going to convert. So that's a really big thing too.
Yeah. You know what I've noticed too that helped a lot with launches is this is where social media is powerful with it, is in conjunction with the email list, is video. Like, just being on video and the podcast. I think for you ladies who are afraid to get on video, even if IG stories or starting to show, like, people, if you can increase the trust factor, you're always going to obviously sell faster. So for me, I really encourage women. I'm like, you should be on video just consistently for a few months before you start launching. Because if you randomly just show up on video to sell, now they're like, where have you been? I don't even know you.
I totally agree. I think that's such a massive thing. And having a podcast, that's been such a game changer, because people feel like, oh my God, I'm actually in this car with this person, I'm having coffee with this person. Video, they get to know you on such a deeper level. I think the more that we can do that, the better. I'm starting to get into YouTube, which I'm really excited about. And we actually put a full module on YouTube inside of OLS, because I'm like, I'm doing it, I'm learning it, so I want you to learn it too. Because I think the more that we can do that, the better. Because if a lot of people are becoming good copywriters, a lot of people are learning the formulas. So what is it that injects your personality into it? Because that's what converts. People buy from people. They still buy from people, no matter how amazing your branding is.
Yeah, I love this, guys. We'll take two juicy questions before we hop off. Ask anything about launching, maybe something you're struggling with, or a question you have about launching a product, your service. Natalie is the queen, the ninja. She is the woman to ask about this. So ask it now. And then, of course, jump on to Sunday. Guys, both these links, for the link for Sunday for the free webinar is on my bio, and then, which is sellwithigstories.com, or right below if you're like, heck yes, I love Natalie, I trust her, let's go, I need to make some moolah in my business, head to launchwithangie.com and they'll take you right to her sales page, guys. It's amazing. I trust Natalie not as a friend, but I think she's brilliant and I love everything you do. And I think if you created this, it's gold. It's amazing. And I don't know who else is really doing this right now. No one's really teaching how to launch. They just expect people to know, right?
No, they're really not. And I think one thing that I noticed was there's a lot of business courses, and a lot of the time the launch was just one module inside of a course, and it's often just not enough. It might be enough to help people get out there and make their first sales, but it's not enough to really show them how to go out there and make a successful, have a successful launch. And I think there's like one or two other courses that I've seen that are really good on this stuff, but they're taught by people that aren't teaching the social side, things that we do, the Instagram piece. It's not relevant in terms of the way we do it. So I'm not seeing it a lot. And I really do think it was meant to be 8 modules. It's now 12, because I just don't think you can teach this stuff in 1 module and 2 modules. There's so much that goes into it, of getting clear on your offer, getting clear on what you're selling, who you're selling to, getting clear on what a funnel is and how you build it out. What does it look like to build your audience 2 months beforehand? I go into so much detail on all of this. Build your pre-launch strategy, actually launch. And then I also walk them through afterwards. Okay, here's how we start playbooking your launch. So you spent hours creating all of these social media templates and graphics and copy sequences. How do you now turn these into templates? And how do you, like, every day I have them make note of, okay, I shared testimonials on this day and I made this many more sales than normal. And so we put it together in a playbook, because I don't want them to have to come back and say, oh, I did 1 successful launch with your help, but now I'm struggling again. It's all about, I know for my business, the reason that it's so scalable and so easy to run is every single thing is playbooked. And we've talked about this before. I playbook everything, whether it's customer service, and I also include a lot of this in OLS, like customer service templates and stuff. But customer service, content creation, launching, everything is playbooked. So if someone leaves the business tomorrow, I can bring someone else in. I have my own course in Kajabi, which is like how to run Boss Babe. People go through it and then they know. And so I teach people how to do that as well, because I know a lot of people coming in are really serious about scaling the business and not just having 1 or 2 successful launches and being done with it. So I just don't think you can teach that in 1 module. I think there's a lot of work that goes into it that we need to admit. Like, you'll know, how many exhausting launches did you have before you're like, oh, I'm kind of starting to get the hang of this now?
Yeah. It's like you have to suck before you're successful. It's like, but then I started to see similarities. Like, what did I do well? What did I not? Now, as a full-time affiliate marketer, I still have launches and I treat them as a product. Like, what would I say? When would I show up? How am I going to use this? I have a calendar. Like, it's the strategy to it. And I think same thing. If you guys are affiliate marketers watching, it's no different. You act like it's your product and it's the same thing, right? So treating it like that. Alexa, good question. I know Natalie covers this in OLS. What if you don't have a large following? How do you recommend going about a launch course and getting attention? I think that's been huge. You're going to talk about in there, right? Is how do you even start if you don't have this massive audience?
Yeah, that's a big thing that I'm going to be covering. And I talk about it in 2 ways. I talk about in terms of building an audience and acquiring an audience, because you'll know as an affiliate marketer, you have a big audience, but you'll probably know a lot of other affiliate marketers that don't have big audiences, yet are so successful because they work with them. And so there's a lot of different ways you can build an audience. So building an audience, there's so many different things in there. We go into that. Acquiring an audience, a lot of joint venture partnerships. So finding someone who has a massive audience but isn't necessarily selling a program or course or doesn't want to be, and partnering up with them, because you don't need to just be building your own audience from scratch. There's a lot of ways that you can acquire an audience really easily. And I actually give away a script inside of OLS. I give away a script that I use when I want to secure joint venture partnerships. And a lot of my clients have used as well. And a lot of people think, well, if I want to partner with someone that's got 100,000 followers, I need to have 100,000 followers. And it's just not true, because there might be someone out there that has 100,000 followers, but actually has no intention of creating a product or a course or something, and it's exhausting to them. So they just want to share it with their audience. So locking in those partnerships can be a game changer. And I'm sure you've partnered up with people that perhaps don't have big audiences, but you've been able to sell for them because you really believe in the product. And so it's locking in different things. So it's first just deciding, am I going to build an audience? Am I going to acquire an audience?
Yes, I love that. Ooh, Clarissa, how much in advance do you plan out your classes and courses? Ooh, do you mean how long are you in launch? What's up, Danielle? Is Danielle there?
Yeah, I love it. Danielle moved out on the weekend, so she must be joining. She must be missing me.
The sun, the light. Oh my gosh. I was like, is she right next to you? Clarissa,
No.
how much in advance? This is interesting. I'm excited to hear your answer to this. I always taught women, the higher the price point, give yourself more time, and the more new you are, give yourself more time to launch. So for me, I'm a weirdo. I kind of like long launches. I'd rather go slow and steady for a long time and talk about something a bunch. But that's also because I'm also in the event space, and what that takes to fill a room and do that. So I'll start, I'm starting now for 2021 Casey Brave, but it's seeding. It's not like hardcore, but it sounds like you teach kind of like a 4 to 8 week, right?
Yeah, it totally depends, because you're right. You might have something running on Evergreen, even though it's coming up on a certain date. I recommend, if you're doing something like a course and you prep 2 months in advance, you can open 10 to 14 days as actually selling hard. But you're right, if there's a mastermind and it's a higher price point, give yourself a couple of months, and again, go slow and steady and work in that way. So it really depends on what it is that you're launching. There's no kind of right way to do it. The biggest thing is just not burning out your audience, so doing it in a way that feels like you're still delivering value, you're still showing up, and you're sharing this thing.
Yeah. Contagious. Camille, how long do you start talking about it on video? And what about repeating yourself too much? Ooh, that's good.
So a lot of people don't know, but sometimes you'll have to hear things between 7 and 11 times before they're willing to buy. And there's probably a lot of people saying, I couldn't show up for 11 days talking about this one thing. And it's crazy how I could be in a launch and I'll be sharing like crazy, and I'll get to the 10th day or the 14th day and I'll say, guys, doors are closing today, price is doubling, bonuses are going away. And people will message me saying, oh my God, how did I not hear about this? I'm like, I don't know. Sharing like crazy, and it's, people just aren't always that consistent with your content. We think that people care way more than they do, really. And
that's
so,
like, I talk about it a zillion times where I'm at that point and they're like, wait, where? I'm like, oh my gosh, you did? Okay, all right.
Yeah, people don't know.
Great. They're like, I didn't see about it. I'm like, oh, I only talk about it every second of every freaking day.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't think there's a big challenge in repeating yourself, but I think showing up, like when you're launching, it doesn't need to be every single day you come on stories and you're like, buy my product. It's like, okay, today I'm going to come and talk to you about what modules are inside of here, or today I'm going to talk to you about what bonuses are in here, or today I'm going to tell you a story about me launching. So there's still interesting content mixed with the sell at the end, and that changes it up. And even if someone's bought from you, they probably still want to hear the story.
Yeah, it's like rotating the experts. I always rotate like research, role model, results. It's like rotating those three. So it's not just every day like buy for me, buy for me, buy for me.
Yeah.
Ooh, we'll do this last one. Let's see. Wendy for wellness. What's up, Wendy? Would you do a challenge, a freebie before the launch? How much time in between the two? I think that's something you cover a lot in OLS, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I talk about all the different options of whether you do challenges, freebies, PDFs, quizzes, all the things. And then I have a calendar for you of how long you would wait in between launches. It depends, right? Because there's lots of different types of launches which we teach. There's front-end launches where you're selling to your audience on social and your email list, or there's back-end launches where you're selling to people who've already bought from you and you're not necessarily putting it out there for the people to see. And so it really depends how you're working it. And I think getting clever with that schedule. So we typically are launching something every month, but it's not always outwardly. So people on social aren't getting tired from us, but we're looking in our back end and really segmenting an audience and selling to specific audiences. Yeah. So there's so many different ways to do it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah. Role model research results. I'll jam on that on Sunday, guys. So we're going to jump off. Say yes if you're coming Sunday. And if not, guys, the link is in my bio to join us Sunday. So excited to see a bunch of you. It's going to be so fun. I'm going to give away so much juicy stuff. Natalie's going to be jamming a little bit more launching again. If you want to come on that and hear more about online launch school, jump on. So excited. Oh my God, guys. And the price of it is going up actually in what, 5 or 6 days?
6 days, yeah. It's going to double.
It is now before it literally doubles, right?
Yeah, it's going to double. And you'll see if you go on the sales page now, there's tons of bonuses listed. They're all going away. So in 6 days, it'll all be going away and the price is doubling.
Wow. Do they get Nala? Is that the bonus?
I might throw Nala in there. I might.
Guys, winner, whoever buys it right now gets her adorable dog. So go for it.
Should we get Nala to just come say hi before we come
my
off?
God.
Let's see if she will.
I thought she was with Anna.
No, I got it back yesterday. Nala!
Yeah, Natalie and
Nala! I can see her. She's kind of running away from me.
And then,
guys,
Nala,
come say hi.
Yay!
So excited
on Sunday.
Yay!
My gosh.
She's so cute.
Ball of fur.
I know. She was being babysat by Anna for a while, but she's back.
Her. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, she's hilarious.
She kind of looks like a lion. Hi.
Guys, if you're not already following Natalie PS, go follow her stories. They're highly educational, but more importantly,
Nala makes appearance.
Just keep clicking until you see funny shit of Nala.
I know. She's really not looking that interested right now.
That's what I live for. I just wake up and I'm like, oh, I hope Natalie posted Nala.
She's such a character. She's got a new habit right now where when you feed her, she takes 3 of her little food things out and takes them over to the rug, then comes back and eats her food, and then later on she goes and has the 3 very specifically that are on the rug. So she's got some habits and routines. She's kind of like us.
She's like segmenting her food.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I was better at that.
I know. She's very specific and detail oriented. She knows what she's doing. We like that.
That's so funny. Oh my God. You guys, I love this. I'm so excited. I'll see you guys Sunday. Head to the link in my bio for that to join us Sunday. Launchwithangie.com if you guys want to check out OLS. It's going to be incredible. And again, in 6 days, the price goes up. So if you're going to jump in, #ready is a lie. Listen, guys, indecision is a decision. So just do the damn thing. And I promise you, by you investing in this, it is going to be something that's going to make money in your business. So it's one of the smartest things you can do. And honestly, at that price point, that's amazing for how much they're going to learn to then go and make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars their next launch. Like, no brainer. No brainer, guys.
It's amazing. I know that's the thing. There's such a massive ROI on this. It's not fluffy. It's very much, okay, come make money.
Yeah, it's not like 10 modules on mindset and then you're done and you're like, where's the stuff?
Yeah.
No,
none of that.
I feel like you and I are both on this mission to just like that's my mission, I think, as a marketer, is like teach marketing in a fun way and give them such good shit. Like, there's a lot of courses that are fluffy out there, you guys, and it's not right. And I think that you women especially, let us know if you agree. You just want to be told, like, tell me exactly what to do. And if that's you, like, Natalie is your girl for this, because she will give it to you real. Like, no fluff is in this, no farting around. It is like, here's what you do, here's the steps, here's how you make money. So if you're down for that, Launch School is for you.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm excited to see everyone on Sunday. It's going to be epic.
Right. Oh, Sam's on. What's up, Sam? Sam, are you joining Online Launch School? Let's go. Let's go.
Sam is joining.
Oh my God, they're like, what is happening here?
Nala's so laid back. I just throw her around and she's like, okay, let's do this. Are we doing this? Are you pimping me out to make sales?
I need a dog. Damn it. They help you guys. Engagement tip: get a dog. Okay.
It's a game changer. Get a dog and then get a chiropractic adjustment on your stories. That really gets people, like, I can double my story views with a chiropractic adjustment.
Wait, you got one or Nala got one?
Well, Nala gets them too, but I get them. So when Danielle and Greg were living here, obviously they're both chiropractors. So I would get an adjustment. I would Instagram it. My engagement would double. Then he would adjust Nala, but she doesn't crack like a human does.
Why do you think that is? Is it because it was like different?
I think it's the noise is so satisfying. I'm telling you, test it out.
Okay.
Tell people sound on and that like cracking noise.
What's it called, guys? Well, you know the YouTubers and they make the weird sounds. What is that called?
Oh, ASMR.
ASMR? Well, we know our future career after all.
There's something to it. If my engagement drops, I'm like, right, get on my neck so I can record this and we'll get things back up where they need to go.
Mine is always like stupid stuff. It's like Larry the Lash or Baby. It's like the stupidest stuff that I'm like, wow, okay, I'm trying to give some value here. You just want to see my lash.
People just love the weird shit.
Yeah, they just love weird shit, guys. Oh, they're all laughing. I love this. Awesome, guys. We'll see you Sunday. Thank you, Natalie.
Bye.
Zoom.